Audiobooks.com presents When the Geese Fly North, The Lost White Wild Strawberries, and A Wonder Tale, Sleep Stories by Gene Stratton Porter, narrated by Christina Moore.
When the Geese Fly North. When the sound of hammers had ceased, and the workmen had removed the last load of debris from the vicinity of Limberlost Cabin, it became my delightful task to induce the birds and every other living creature of the woods and water of northern Indiana to come to my small 120-acre preserve and make themselves at home. I could guarantee that they would not be bothered by guns, by dogs and cats, or by thoughtless tourists. I could not guarantee that they would not prey upon each other, that they would not live out their lives in accordance with the ancient instincts of the wild. I clothed myself in a dull olive khaki, and with every equipment for field work made as inconspicuous as possible, I went about the business of making friends with my wild neighbors. I had a unique location. Quite 40 acres of the 120 I had purchased were covered with a splendid growth of original timber. I had broad open fields, deep ravines, and over a mile of swampy, winding lake shore from which, in many places, the land rose abruptly, almost the entire length of the shore being thickly covered with trees and bushes bearing fruit, nuts, and berries. Predominant among these were every variety of oak tree known to that region. Huge giants of the forest, many of them ranging from 20 to 50 feet to the first branches, straight trunks, tall and proud, every autumn full-fruited, so that literally bushels and bushels of acorns fell from their cups and rolled down the steep embankments into the shallow shore water. The lake upon which I located in northern Indiana is owned and controlled by the state. There is a practice every fall of lowering the water to a degree that will protect the docks and boathouses which, at the settled end of the lake, stand before every one of the cottages which house a summer population frequently exceeding 5,000. While the lake was covered with ice and the shoreline with snow, every day I saw big gray squirrels and the smaller red ones, and coons on gray days going down to the shore to burrow under the snow and feed on acorns, the hulls of which were thoroughly water-soaked, the meat, however, seeming not be the least affected. Across the front of the second story of the cabin that I built for my convenience while engaged in field work ran a big sleeping porch. The hillside upon which the cabin stood sloped rather abruptly to the lake. The front foundations were 4 or 5 feet in height, and this threw the sleeping porch among the branches of the great trees closely surrounding the cabin. From this point of vantage, I had almost the same opportunity for watching and studying the lives of the wild as if I really had been in the trees themselves. I had made a practice, even while the building was under construction, of keeping out quantities of food for the squirrels and birds, and on the east side of the cabin I had built an open porch with a cement floor and broad window seats upon which I constantly kept food for the wild, as well as suet baskets on the logs of the building and the trunks of the nearby trees. All over the location I had many
Sample complete. Ready to continue?